everyone, welcome back to A Gut Feeling. My name is Janine, and on this channel I talk about all things relating to gut health. Now, just to clarify, I am not a doctor or a dietitian, so any advice I give on this channel, you should definitely run it by your doctor first. But this video is just simply going to be meant to encourage you all, and at the end of the video I also have a testimony that I'm going to be sharing that is from one of the subscribers on this YouTube channel. It's super exciting, so stick around to the end for that. When I just look back over my journey with ulcerative colitis, it's definitely a hard journey, especially when you're in flares. And so for this video, if you're a person that is struggling with irritable bowel, Crohn's, ulcerative colitis, if you're in a bad flare right now, you're just grasping for some hope, well, this video is for you. Now, I'm not planning to reshare my stories. I've done that multiple times here on this channel. So something that I really enjoy in life is traveling, getting out, seeing new places, getting away from home a bit. And if you have a gut problem like ulcerative colitis, that keeps you housebound so much of the time. You're just running to the bathroom constantly. And I just began to think that I would never ever be able to experience any type of a normal life again. Anyway, so when I was in this flare, I just remember watching a video of a young man, probably about my age, that had ulcerative colitis that I believe was much more severe than mine. And he was able to heal himself through diet, no medicine, and he was able to get out of it, go traveling again. And the thing that encouraged me so much with his story was the fact that he didn't want to heal in the sense that he always had to stick to a certain diet. He wanted to heal to the point that he could get back to eating any food he wanted to in moderation. And that was my goal. I'm like, if he can do it, surely I can do it. So it was over that time in my life when I was just running to the bathroom non-stop and I was watching his videos. He had went on a cruise for 10 days or 2 weeks or something, and he recorded every meal he ate. He was eating all manner of food that would have sent me into a straight up flare, which I was already was in a flare, but types of foods that would just immediately give me reactions. I'm not sure why I'm out on a walk. The gnats are just beyond awful here. So he was just eating pretty much any type of food you can imagine, all the way to chocolate and dessert, and I'm just like, coffee, dessert, oh please, can I get there someday? If he can go travel and eat whatever he wants, surely I can too. So it was videos like his that I just clung to when I was in those low spots, because we need hope. If we don't have hope, it's really hard to keep going. So this is my video meant to encourage you if you're stuck in a flare and thinking there's no way out. That's where I was last year for months and months on end, and it just seemed every time I got out of a flare a little bit, a few months later I'd be right back in one. And I was taking medicine, all kinds of things, nothing was working. But we just got back from the Turks and Caicos Islands, had an incredible trip, 5 nights, 6 days. And I went down there and I ate whatever I wanted to. I drank coffee, which I've been doing at home as well. And I do have a confession, my diet at home has not been nearly what it should be. So I need to get back on track with that. I've been doing way too much cheating. But I was able to go on a trip for the first time in probably 2.5 years where I wasn't on any meds and I was out of a flare, doing extremely well and eating pretty much whatever foods I wanted. I still tried to be a little careful. So a lot of the food on the island tended to be deep fried, like battered fish and conch and all that type of thing, French fries. And so I wasn't able to always find the healthiest of choices, and I didn't always want to. So I was enjoying all kinds of different foods, like battered, deep fried fish with French fries. We had lots of conch when we were there. That was usually deep fried as well. Some better choices like big stew pot full of all kinds of seafood. Lots of different varieties of vegetables in there, I believe, with rice, coleslaw. And one evening we were trying to save money. We ran down to the little local grocery store and we got like a really junk food meal, like hot dogs, hot dog buns, of course, this processed cheese, chips, Oreo cookies, that type of thing. Not healthy at all, and we had that on the beach. I had also packed along like Lara bars, which are a lot of fruit-based bars, and nuts as well, a lot of trail mix, and so I was eating a lot of that type of thing, which before nuts would have definitely thrown me into a flare. And it was just incredible. I felt amazing for the most part of the trip. Now when I do travel, my stomach tends to kind of get out of sync and not always feel the best. But as far as ulcerative colitis, I had an incredible time. It was just amazing. I just praise God for it. It just felt like I'd been given back another life. I was on a trip. I didn't have to worry about bathrooms. My husband and I went boating, which would have been a complete no-no before, because I would have been too scared to leave any amount of distance like that away from a bathroom. And there we were, out boating for hours on end. I didn't worry. I wasn't even thinking about bathrooms. It's just freedom. Okay, I'm inside away from those horrendous gnats. Oh, they're just irritating me to no end. It makes my house feel completely cruddy. Anyway, let's get back to the thoughts. So after our trip, I got home and I started noticing a few small symptoms that I could be getting a bit worse. I had some urgency and just loose bowel movements, had to run to the bathroom just a little bit more urgent than I normally do, which is not usually urgent, and I wouldn't call it bad at all, but there was just enough of a sign there that I'm like, okay, you know what? I still have ulcerative colitis. I'm still in danger of flares. I need to be careful, and I need to get back into my normal routine, which before I had not been very strict, and I'm trying to get very strict again on my diet. But once again, what I did is I hit up my high probiotic foods when I had been down there. I hadn't been eating high probiotic foods. I had taken probiotics along, and I'd taken some colostrum along, but I had only taken it in the capsules, so it was easy to travel with. And I can't take nearly as much when I'm taking little capsules as when I actually have the powder and put it in smoothies and stuff. And so what I did is I just came home, I started eating lots of yogurt, and I'm also drinking kefir now. I can handle that. I couldn't a few months back, but kefir has so many more probiotics in it, and also sauerkraut. And so those three things I would try to eat throughout the day. And I just hit up my powdered colostrum again, and within a few days I was pretty much back to normal. Now since I'm home from my trip, it's been really hard for me to get back in a groove with food, and I keep eating things that are not good for me, gluten and some sugar and things. And so now I'm trying to get strict again, just grind down, because I have noticed just a few symptoms. I know for a fact I'm not healed, but I feel like I have some more knowledge about how to keep flares a little bit more at bay. And I'm hoping that if I can get my diet where I can consistently keep it like that for months and years on end, that I'll eventually get to a point where I'm healed and don't have to worry at all about flares. But at this point, I know I'm not healed, but I am not in a flare, and life is just incredible. I had also run across another YouTuber that had talked about the 80-20 rule, where he feels like if you eat really well 80% of the time and then give yourself grace 20% of the time, say if you go on a trip, a few months beforehand, make sure you're just really building your body up, and then if you go on a trip like I did, then just eat whatever, pretty much what you want. Be careful, but like I did, and you should be fine. And so it's just my encouragement to you that you can get there. I'm sure you can get there. It's not always easy. Every person's story is different. But for me, I can just tell a difference when I really eat the high probiotic foods. Now, if you're in an active flare, you cannot start heavy. You have to start extremely light, and sometimes even then, your gut can't handle those potent probiotics. I had to slowly work up. I started with my 24-hour yogurt, which I have a video about that. That was the best thing I could have taken. It's very gentle on the gut. I could take it without reacting to it, so that was always a plus. And then my colostrum as well. And I had told you guys I was going to be reading a testimony. One of the fun things about this YouTube channel, and I know I've been talking a ton about colostrum, but I just feel like it's been such a key to my health, and it's just been amazing just sharing with you all. So many of you jumped on board, wanted to order some. I've been staying in touch with you, and the amount of people that are coming back with positive reports, some of them just blow my mind at how incredible of results they have already have. Others aren't noticing quite as much, but they see little changes, and others are seeing positive changes slowly over time. And so I thought it'd be fun to start sharing some testimonies on here if you all are interested in that. And for now, these testimonies would be from you all, my viewers, the ones I've been in contact with. And so one of the first testimonies I want to read has been really exciting for me. But she sent an email and said she doesn't mind if I read it on this channel. I had sent her an email, I'm not sure if it was a few weeks after they had ordered the product. It was for her and her husband. She was struggling with a lot of the same types of issues. It was stemming from different problems, but she was always running to the bathroom. And her husband, I think, had a lot of bloating, if I'm not getting my facts mixed up. And she said within 1 week of taking just 1/8 of a teaspoon, was it maybe once or twice a day, by the end of a week, they were noticing less bloating and running to the bathroom less, like her bowel movements were starting to straighten out, which was just incredible to me in that short amount of time. Anyway, so she finally went and shared her whole story with me and said I could share it with whoever here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and read the email. Hi, I haven't went into much detail about the issues that I had other than my bowel movements are normal now and I am not bloated. It might be of interest to someone to hear more details of my story. I had been sick for over a year, not feeling well, hurting throughout my digestive tract, and just overall miserable. When I finally started vomiting on a daily basis, I went to the doctor and found out that I had diseased gallbladder and gallstones. I had my gallbladder removed December 2018. They told me on my follow-up visit that if my bowels were going to start working better, it should happen within the first 6 months after surgery. It had been almost a year post-surgery when I tried the colostrum 6. At that time, I had such urgencies I was afraid to leave the house. I would let my husband go in and do grocery shopping and sometimes had to leave him there while I ran home before he got finished. I have not had this issue after about 3 weeks on colostrum 6. I was also told that my esophagus had a problem that may or may not heal, something that was causing me to choke. They put me on a prescription. I've been on that since the end of 2018. I've just stopped the prescription this last week. I'm going to try to stay off of it for a while and see if it seems to be healing. The only way the doctor can tell is to do the scope down my throat again. I'd like to avoid that if at all possible. At this time, I'm only taking 3 colostrum 6 capsules in the morning. I'd like to increase to another 3 in the evening. But I would like to help you spread the word of this product if I can, and then she gave me permission that if I want to share this email on my channel, that would be perfectly fine. I would just like to see other people helped as much as I have been. So that is just incredible, and thanks to Pam for letting me share her email here. And so it's things like that that just give me energy. Every time I hear a new success story, I'm just like, yay, thank God. And it's just so exciting. I know that colostrum is not a cure-all. There's nothing like a cure-all. But I do believe that it is something that it gives our body what it needs to heal and to like start working properly again. And since what I struggle with so much is gut issues, colostrum is so good for the gut. I talk about it a lot elsewhere. I'm not going to talk about it. So once again, I hope this video encouraged you a little bit if you are in a bad flare. And if you are new to this channel and you don't know that I do have another channel, it's called The Mennonite Mom. I'm going to have links below if you want to go check out our trip that we took to the Turks and Caicos Islands. Anyway, I hope you're doing well. I hope you can find healing. And thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Bye!